Hi, my name is Brian C. Sonnier, and I am a candidate for the Instructional Technology Leadership degree at Lamar University. The teacher that I'm observing today is Ms. Chantilly Mapes, and she's a sixth grade blended academic ESL classroom teacher. This is my attempt to observe Ms. Mapes in the role of an administrator and then to assess how her teaching style, based upon my notes and information that I'm going to gather today during my observation. This is my first teacher observation video from page 4 of the practicum plan log. I will be noting instructional strategies, differentiation, and student engagement. This is a 45-minute, 6th grade ESL sheltered classroom located in an affluent school within Katy, Texas. This is a specific ESL sheltered instruction classroom with 30 students. 20 of the students are ELL students. The other 10, 5 of which are special ed / 504 students, and the other 5 are low performing regular students. Today, Ms. Mapes will be using guided questions, concept maps, and content frames to discuss the information being presented, which is 6th grade introduction to physical science. Basically, today we're going over chemical and physical changes in class. The differentiation strategies that are going to be used or supposed to be used today are the teacher is going to try to deliver specifically designed content so that you can best reach each student. In this classroom, the teacher's taken the time to group the students by ability and English language level in collaborative groups for instruction. The students are going to specifically be using content frames today to work on their understanding of physical and chemical changes. The teacher is going to try to engage the students' background knowledge while imparting the new information of physical and chemical changes. Guided questions are going to be used to assess how the students understand the information and their mastery of the content. So once again, we're going to be looking at grouping by ESL level, content frames, understanding concepts, guided questions, and so forth for differentiation. The teacher is going to assess the students with direct questions. She's going to do a gallery walk around the classroom to assess their understanding based upon what they've written. The students are going to fill out their content frames, and there's an exit ticket for the students to complete at the end of class. If all goes well, everything that we've discussed is going to be done today in class, but I don't know how much is going to get done, but we will see. So once again, my name is Brian C. Sonnier, and this is my educational practicum leadership first observational video. Thank you.
The Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the duty, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Let us take a minute to pause to reflect on our days, our activities, and what we hope to accomplish. This is our minute of silence.
Now time for the daily roundup.
Today for lunch we'll be having chicken enchiladas with fiesta rice, chicken pizza quesadilla, chicken tostada with fiesta rice, refried beans, taco toppers, apple slices, or pineapple chips.
Breaking news, the Cardiff History Club is now on Twitter. You can follow them at History Cult. The History Club will be attending the Texas Renaissance Festival on November 23rd. Permission slips must be turned to Ms. Shaw, Ms. Nara, and Mr. I by November 13th. You can still join the History Club. We are really close to being the largest history club in the country. Also, History Club shirts will be on sale until Friday, October 30th. Renaissance Festival permission slips, t-shirt order forms, and membership forms can all be found in the History Club or by the library. With the Renaissance Festival coming up, now is a great time to join.
Angel Durham scored the most points and achieved 3,000 Friday, October 23rd, 2015. He earned 20 extra bonus points for his high score. Jonathan Korea scored the most points for the week of October 19th from October 23rd. He was awarded 50 bonus points. Congratulations, Jonathan. Sorry if I've missed anything.
Attention 7th and 8th grade boys. Basketball tryouts will be held Tuesday, November 10th, Wednesday, November 11th, and Thursday, November 12th. The 8th grade tryouts will be from 5:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. The 7th grade tryouts will be from 2:45 p.m. to 4:15 p.m. It is mandatory that you are there all 3 days. You must have a current physical turned in before November 10th. If you need a paperwork, go to the boys' coach office before school. If you have any questions, please see Coach Miller.
Attention, Cardiff students. Our mascot, Charlie Colt, wants to be in your selfie. There are posters of Charlie throughout the building with instructions on how to upload your pic or tag the yearbook staff on Instagram. Take your selfie with Charlie and your photo might be printed in the 2015-2016 Cardiff yearbook. Don't forget to pre-order your yearbook now through October 30th for a discounted price of $35. That's the only way you'll be guaranteed a yearbook. Fill out the order form and turn it in with your payment to Ms. Kenzie in room 1177. Don't miss out. Do it today.
Picture retakes will be tomorrow, October 30th, for any student who paid for pictures or was absent on the day pictures were taken. Forms for picture retakes can be picked up in the front office.
Tomorrow for Red Ribbon Week, team up against drugs and wear a team shirt or a jersey.
Today be told by caring for yourself and others, taking ownership of your actions, being a lifelong learner, and being a team player so that we can all be successful.
This is Mama
And Juliet.
and this has been your daily roundup.
Right. Good morning.
Good morning, folks. Just want to say, way to go last night. We had some great football play. Congratulations to the A team for a big win over the Gators. You guys did great. Had a great time. Cheer and pep squad. You guys were awesome. We won a lot of cheer and enthusiasm for the game. We appreciate you guys being here. So it looks like by default the Gators get to keep the brand helmet this year, but don't worry, we'll be back next year. Have a great day.
All right, here we go. So before I read over the warm-up to help y'all out, I just want to say good job coming in today. It wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better than yesterday, a lot safer. People were following the classroom and safety rules, so I recognize that, and good job on that, and that's what I expect, and Mr. Sonnier expects, and y'all walk in every day. Y'all proven you can do it, you can control yourselves, come in, unstack the chair, have a seat, and whatnot. So thank you very much, and I do expect that every day, so well done on that, okay? And then that's not going to delay into our lesson. Nobody got hurt. There's no drama. So well done on that. Okay. So here's our warm up. It's a matching. There are 4 science words on the right: fireworks, chemical reaction, chemical change. We talked about that yesterday. We did that in our 4 square notes. And then the word energy, which hopefully from elementary, that sounds familiar. So you're matching the word with the description. So number 1 says, when elements bond together, or when bonds of compounds are broken to form a new substance. Maybe you've heard that, maybe you haven't. Maybe you can skip that and do the others first. Number 2 says, an example of a chemical change. Number 3 says, this can be released or given off during a chemical change. And number 4, this is another term for chemical change. It involves combining different substances and producing a new substance. So I'm gonna give you all about 2.5 minutes to work on that. If you know it, awesome. If you're not quite sure, go with your best guess. So I'll give you about 2 minutes and we'll get some volunteers up there. Remember, nothing bad happens if you get it wrong. It's just a warm up. You want your brains working, you're not sleeping, just give it a try. While you're working on that, quick reminder, your homework is due tomorrow. I gave it out yesterday. This is what it looks like in case you forgot. It's, I didn't say talk. It's the reading of science with the 6 questions. You can underline or highlight, like you do in reading class. It's the strategies that'll help you get those right. It's officially due tomorrow. Work on it during advisory or work on it at home. Homework due tomorrow. All right, about 1 more minute. The next person that goes up, you can do it in any order and so on and so forth. Sometimes it helps if y'all do the easy ones first as a strategy, right? Do the ones we know, we can eliminate, and then we'll go on to the don't know, right? Okay, number 1, when elements bind together and the bonds are broken to form a new substance. Chemical change? Forms a new substance? That sounds pretty good to me. Well done, nice. Would you like to cross it off? And that way, cross it off on the right. That way we've eliminated it. Good job. Good, good, good. Yeah, we did that yesterday in our 4 square notes. Right? Flavio? If you missed number 1, please correct it. Number 1 is chemical change. Number 2, an example of chemical change. Fireworks, right? We had a picture of that yesterday. We talked about that because it gives off light and heat and sound. You get something new. I love fireworks. All right, we're halfway done. All right, Ms. Cassidy, going down. So far, y'all are 2 for 2. Chemical reaction or energy to choose from. Alright, another term for chemical change means different substances are combined and you get something new. Very good. B, chemical reaction. We'll just cross it off. Okay. Yeah, in 8th grade science, guys, in 2 years in 8th grade, you will definitely see and hear this term, so we're training you for that time. Evelyn? What can be released during a chemical change? Guess what? This answer can also be absorbed. It's either absorbed or released. Energy. Nice. Number 100. Any questions? No. I know on 2 of them we covered yesterday. The other 2, either we haven't covered or it's from elementary, but not too bad. Not too bad. Heads up, we've got a quiz Friday, so our warm-ups are going to help us be successful. Be sure you have all your answers recorded, nothing blank. Alright? Okay, you can put those away, and please take out this white handout that we did 2 days ago. Wait, today is Thursday. Wait, today is Wednesday. Come on. We did this on Monday. We're going to do the back side today. Okay? So, you still have the reminders, right?
Oh no, I left it.
Uh-oh. I know, forgot our shoes back on. I'm sorry. Trust me. I'm sorry. I know, I like going around barefoot in my house. But take this out, guys.
Oh, I have it. I have it. I have it.
Good.
No, no, I don't have it.
I'm not Guys, stay with me. We did the vinegar and milk. It gave a precipitate, nasty white chunky stuff. And we did the iodine on the cracker, and it had an unexpected color change. Now we're going to do the back side. We're going to do another one. I will be calling on different volunteers throughout these 2 experiments. All right. Go ahead and copy the colored ink down on your handout. On number 3, you're going to work with Alka-Seltzer tablets or effervescent tablets. These guys. And then in a moment we'll list our 3 properties that describe, right? And then we're going to add it with just simple water, H2O. Let's list that formula compound, right? H2O. And then number 4 will be vinegar with baking soda. So go ahead and jot that down when I get my materials ready and these are my volunteers. And then get some water. Okay, Gabby, adios. I know, I'm just a messenger. It's requesting your presence. I don't know, I'm just a messenger. What did I feed them? The AP office, the next office. Guys, that's not your business. All I know is they were requested, okay? Alright, table 3 is ready. Table 2, nice, is ready. Table 4. I don't know. Oh, effervescent tablets, or the Alka-Seltzer tablets. Angel, we gotta have our handout from 2 days ago. This year, sweetheart, we're not talking to other people, right? Because we don't have time for that. I'm demoing it, but we have some well-paid people who will be my awesome volunteers. Don't raise your hand because I already know one picking. Guys, okay, before I start, when we lose stuff and we don't keep things that are important, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Right? I've got a few extras, but guess what? You're my first class of the day. I've got 5 other classes. What if I've got a few people who lost theirs, so I can't give them all to you? So it's not about, oh, Miss Mitch just has extras. We got to keep track of stuff. And when I get papers from classes that I go to and I need to use them for work, right, I keep them. It's important. We're training you for your future, guys. So please, please, please. I take the time to hole punch it. So you open the rings of your binder, you put it in. You don't just slide it and shove it in. It's going to fall out. So it's important to hold on to those papers and not to lose them. It's not just my class. It's all y'all's classes, right? It's your sweetheart. After you copy that, please go back to your desk because everybody else is going to see, right? No exceptions. Okie dokie then. Quickly, what were the 2 signs of evidence that we've observed that a chemical change happened? You want to look on the front of your paper to answer that. What are 2 signs that we have observed that a chemical change happened? Somebody tell me one of them. Eileen. Oh, I can't hear her because she has permission. A chunky solid is formed, a precipitate forming from 2 liquids. And what is our other sign of evidence? Yes, I'm making something we see with our eyes though. What happened to the iodine when we dropped it on the cracker? What did you see? What was our evidence? Color change. Unexpected color change, right? So we've already seen 2. Now guess what? Today we're going to do 2 others. And then what's 2 plus 2? 4. So by the end of today, you will have observed 4 signs of evidence. These are size medium. I think I used size large, but we don't have any. But I'm going to make it, if I didn't have my rings on, of course, right? But you know how Miss Bates goes? I got to have my rings on, right? That's my style. Question, comment, concern? Yes, sir. I'm getting volunteers. Monday, everybody will do our lab. Today, I'm getting my volunteers. Can refill that up to the 60 with some water. Thank you, ma'am. Alright, let's next physical properties. Physical properties. I broke these Alka-Seltzer tablets. They're big round tablets, but I crushed them up into smaller pieces. So we had to list some physical properties. Now I can't even open the damn thing. I'm like, wait, I can do it by myself. I'm a big girl. I can do it by myself.
Are you doing heavy?
Okay. What is a physical property? What state of matter?
I can't see nothing.
Of this tablet. Is it a solid, liquid, or gas?
Solid.
Okay, everybody agrees this is solid? Solid, solid. Solid? Solid, solid. Alright, solid. Okay, solid. What is the color? White. Write it down. Write it down. Now. Wait. I should have blocked it that way. I don't know.
Did they really laugh?
Okay, Miss Sharon, let's focus on science, buddy. Thank you. We will say there is an odor. Remember in science, these are science words. Can someone get my door? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Odor or smell. Alright, we did our 3 physical properties. Nice. Thank you. We just listed 3 physical properties. I'm so sorry. I need to wait until the distractions have come to an end. Y'all were doing so excellent, and then we got distracted. Brian, you're talking when the teacher's talking. That's not polite. That's not respectful. Properties of water. What state of that? Liquid. Thank you, Juan. Liquid. Okay, one more time, class. Let's focus on what we're doing and ourselves. All the outside stuff, that's not going to help us be successful, right? Water is a liquid. We're writing down our physical properties. And what color is water?
Clear.
Clear, right? It's colorless. All right, let's write that down. Clear or colorless. Now, as far as smell or odor, I got nothing. No odor, no smell, just regular water. No odor.
How was it?
Boy.
Oh,
my neck.
Okay, I'll speak up with this.
It's on my neck. See, I'm so sorry that I apologize to the students who are listening and paying attention, and that y'all aren't getting to do this yourselves, because we've got about a third of y'all shouting out, off task, distracting each other. But I do recognize, I do appreciate the students who are following instructions and are being respectful. Thank you. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm going to now take the temperature of the water. Can someone watch the clock and tell me after 1 minute? Okay, so tell me when it has been 1 minute. We're going to list the physical property, which is temperature. Before we mix the two, we're going to see what our starting initial temperature is. And I'll show y'all the thermometer glass and critical glass, right? Critical, great. And then when we mix the two, minute? Okay, it is in, okay. It is at, what temperature does that look like to you? Where's that red line at? 22? What do you think? 22? I always like to get 3 people's opinion, because when 3 sets of eyes look at it, and they all say the same thing, and that's pretty much a good thing, right? Ben, what does that say to you? So at eye level with it. Okay, 3 people confirmed, 22 degrees.
Yeah, it is been a minute. It's been a minute.
22 degrees Celsius. So our fourth physical property will in my dream world, in my dream world, we can get through science class without these distractions. Maybe one day my dreams will come true.
About what? About you fighting.
That we don't get distractions and disruptions in this class. 22 degrees Celsius. It's not Fahrenheit, remember units? We don't put naked numbers. All numbers have a unit. Now this isn't the same Fahrenheit. That's when you look at the weather app like on your phones or on the news and it says it's like 72 degrees outside. That's Fahrenheit. This is Celsius. Because it's metric. In science class we use metric. So our water temperature is 22 degrees Celsius. Alright, now I'm going to mix them. See what? I'm going to pour it into the I'm sorry. Let's have volunteer. Hector. For the water, it's just water. He does not need goggles for this. And we need test tube. It's just agua. Test tube. Right. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. Good job. Well done. Thank you.
Let me go.
Y'all are funny. I like it. Okay, what was the temperature of the water? Do I write that down on our, yeah, everybody wrote it? Now I'm adding the Alka-Seltzer tablets.
1 minute?
Yeah, let's time it for 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Alright, go.
If you want to use your device.
Starting.
Okay. I'm not going to shake it. I'm not going to stir it. That could be outside factors or variables that could affect our, right? You can kind of take a look at it though. I'm going to walk around the room and for your observations, write down, do you see anything happening in the test tube? Let's jot down, do we see anything happening? Calm down, buddy, calm down, buddy. No, it's not an edible. Okay. So write down, what do you see? What do you observe in the test tube? I see something happening. I definitely.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Right. Something is happening in here. My goodness. Let's write down what we see happening in the test tube. What do we see happening? Oh, there's the water. And I grab a tablet. I like tablets. What do we see happening? Write that down. Okay, time. Now,
48 seconds. 30 seconds. Not 48.
okay, time out, pause.
20 seconds.
There you go.
Thank you.
Don't worry, my clock's still going.
It's okay. Because guess what? Did everybody start it at the same time? No.
That's
Right. That's
Go
right.
going. Can we just be
Okay,
quiet?
put our devices down. Devices
We
down.
ask you.
What did we see happening? I saw that. Okay, thank you, timers. Thank you. Phones down. Now we're writing, what did we just see happen? We write it, don't say it, write it. What did you see happen? I'll go around the room one more time. It looks like it, but it's not exactly the same as Sprite. It looks like it's Sprite. It's not actually Sprite, but if that reminds you of Sprite,
Is it yes or no, miss?
you can write that down. It looks
Is the
like
water
Sprite.
still moving? No. The water's dead.
It looks like Sprite.
Got shot in the Hey, your iPhone. My iPhone.
Can everybody write down in one sentence? What did you see? Now, you know what, guys? I wish I had used a digital thermometer because this one is not showing the results that I wanted or expected. But I'm gonna walk around and just let you kind of feel the bottom. Do you feel? There's supposed to be something. Does it feel a little warm or cool? You know what? You know what I'm going to do? I want better results. I want to add a little bit more. Because I really want y'all, you're going to feel it. I'm going to walk around and just let you feel it. Forget the thermometers, because honestly, and this happens in science. This happens in the real world. Sometimes, we don't get the desired results. Something could have happened, right? Real life happens, situation. We're not timing anything. I just want y'all to feel, I'm going to say there's supposed to be a temperature change, okay? There's supposed to be a temperature change. Can you feel anything? You know what? This is a thick plastic test tube. What if I used a thin glass test tube? Y'all probably would be able to feel it better. Do you feel any, does it feel a little cold? See, if I use different materials, does it not, do you feel anything or no? Does it? Alright.
Hey, you have
Nobody feels anything. I'm so Does it feel a little cool? A little cool? It's minor.
Oh, no, I'm not cheating.
It's just a little. It's not like freezing cold. Again, I should have used the glass.
Wow, you keep
I apologize. I'm sorry. It's kind of like a dud. It kind of let us go. But there's supposed to be a decrease in temperature. You know what? This bag, we had cut these up. We had these last year. So they've been sitting back there for a whole year. What if I open up one that hadn't been opened yet?
Yes.
Right.
I'm trying to teach you. Oh, wow.
We will read. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. What's with the drinking? That's just great. Somebody get some paper towels. Hey, no! I'm sorry. Thank you for helping, but no to the running. Guys, not safe. Okay, audience, do we ever run in a classroom? No. So, I'm glad you're aware of the safety, but I want you to practice that safety. Thank you. Okay, we'll revisit this. We will revisit this. Let's go ahead and just jot down. Okay. Yes or no? Chemical change? Yes. Very good. Start with the yes. Now, stay with me. On help. There's a circle on your paper. Circle on your paper. I'm going to wait on you, buddy. I'm waiting on you. Other than temperature, audience, other than temperature, what did you see happen? I'm sorry? What did y'all see? I walked showed it to you each table at a time. Emily. It still looks pretty clear. I mean, the white tablets are gone. But did it turn the water a color? Diana. The bubbles, the fizzing, right? And gas produced. Because did we start with the bubbles? No, we didn't. So gas bubbles. And we're going to say there was an actual temperature change. Even if it was just a teeny tiny half a degree or 2 degree change, there's a temperature change. Oh, now it's down to 20 degrees. Okay, so when I added the newer and a bigger chunk of it, it went down by 2 degrees. So it's a cooling endothermic absorbing energy. What? So cooling. Yeah, if you'll listen, you might learn some new science words. There you go. Trying to teach you some science here. Okay, let's move on to the second report, the second mini experiment. So everybody wrote down their observations, and yes, the chemical change happened. We had 2 evidences. Angel, sweetheart. Let's listen, buddy. Okay. Okay, report. Last number 4, vinegar and baking soda. This is famous, very popular to do at home. You can totally do this at home, but with a parent or an adult present, right? Safety first. Never do any of this by yourself. Okie dokie. Vinegar. Hector and Claudio, can we save that conversation until after class? That would be excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that's my way of saying please be quiet. I'm trying to be polite. All right, vinegar. We dealt with vinegar. Okay, vinegar. Is it a solid, a liquid, or a gas? Let's write that down. You don't have problems on it. Thanks, my name. Yes. Yes, it's a big old thing of vinegar. Color. Clear or colorless. So just by looking, you might think that's water, but it looks the same as water, but it's not water. And oh yeah, it's got that strong odor. And that reminds me of turning on my vent, exhaust fans, the smell is about to happen. Alright, so baking soda. Baking soda. Here is a sample of baking soda. Here's what baking soda is.
Oh, I know what happens when you add vinegar and baking soda.
Here's some baking
I
soda.
know what happens. I've done this before. Like,
Baking soda. Baking soda. Baking soda. Baking soda. Not appropriate. That is not funny, and especially during Red Women Week, anti-drug week. Are you kidding me? Anti-drug week. Anti-drug week.
For some reason, trying to keep saying that, but when I my house, he keeps
As soon as the audience is ready, I will get the volunteers. Audience is not ready. Audience is not ready. Wait, still waiting on the audience. Michael, can you grab a pair of goggles for yourself. And Caitlin, grab yourself a pair of goggles. And you can stand at the front of the room. Oh wait, first we need to list our properties and things, but then you go to the front of the room. Sorry. Okay, 3 properties physical of the baking soda.
White. Liquid. Powder.
I'm sorry, liquid and powder do not make sense together, right? That's a bit of an oxymoron right there. I heard somebody say white, powder, solid. Powder is a texture or consistency, and the state of matter is solid. Everybody writing, we're writing, write it down. All right, what's my 2 volunteers to bring that down? Come join me, my volunteers. Okay. And you pour the vinegar into the test tube. Now, put the balloon on top of that. You have to stretch it out. Are you going to do it? Okay, not going to hold it. We're going to add and combine the baking soda into the vinegar. All right? Go ahead.
I haven't seen that.
Hold it up.
I haven't seen that.
All right, go.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh my God. I have done that experience.
Observe what happened. Observe. Thank you, volunteers. You return your goggles. Well done, my volunteers. What is happening to the test tube and the balloon? The test tube and the balloon.
Doesn't look like soda.
Write it down. I observed that. I saw that. Write it. Write it. I'm sorry. What are you doing? We're doing the science right now. We're doing science. Right? What do you see happen? What do you see happen? Right. I should hear silence because we're thinking and writing it down. I watched that okay, I can't tell you what to write. You write down what did you just see happen in the test tube and to the balloon. I'll give y'all 45 more seconds and then we will discuss with the class what just happened. Something happened, all right. Write it, write it. Now, come around one more time. We've still got some stuff. Evidence. It's all about the evidence. Just like on Monday, we are looking for signs of the evidence. If a chemical change did or did not happen. I think it has stabilized.
Shake it up.
I do not want it to be a volatile situation. Because guess what? Y'all have your aprons or goggles on, right? So that would be safe
I'll
for
cover
y'all.
myself. Is it warm?
This is not a good test tube to use for that because it's like double thick plastic, so I can't really feel. What I feel is the outside, not the inside. Had I used glass, I'd be able to feel it. Okay, another question I'm going to ask. Evelyn, sweetheart. Let's go find our seat. Gabby and Evelyn. We aren't following instructions, are we? Remember, to make the dreams come true, all I want is for y'all to follow instructions the first time given. Please make my dreams come true.
What are you doing? What you like?
Those are simple things.
You stretch while you don't.
Alright, here we go. Did a chemical change?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like a Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How did, okay, what made the balloon get bigger? The gas bubbles rose up and inflated it, right? So gas bubbles were produced.
Kind of makes me
Write it. Gas bubbles produced. The balloon inflated with gas or air. Boom, that's the evidence right before your eyes. Is it about this year?
Yes.
Alright, how may I help you? Okay, if I take off the balloon, I'm going to do it carefully. I don't want to splatter it on myself or on the
Nothing happened.
Now I will come by and show you what is the residue in the test tube that stay seated. I will come by and show you.
Everyone just jumped up.
So look at what's left in the test tube. The baking soda has settled at the bottom, and the vinegar is on top, right? Or what's left over?
I'm the
Some of it is stayed to the gas.
I hear it.
If it's very good, bring it back density. If it's floating, it's less dense. Nice. We got 2 layers right here left in the test tube, right? And again, the plastic, I can't really feel temperature. It's too thick of plastic. I would want to use glass. So here's what happened at the end. We have the liquid and the solid. So they did not mix. They're separate. 2 separate products.
Oh no, baking soda is more dense than vinegar.
Okay. Okay, we are just about finished. One final item. Yes, it did happen, yes. Okay, audience. Let's see here. Okay, you're going to have a password out today. In just a moment, I'll put 1 to 2 questions on the board. You're not table talking, you're thinking it. It's kind of like when you just say something cards. You will have to tell Miss Mix your answer, and that will be your password to leave. Instead of writing it, like those you take it out on a sticky note, today it's all about, it is all about, Okay. Let's read this. This will show me did we learn today. It says a group of students conducted an experiment. They combined 2 unknown mystery powders with vinegar. They recorded their observations. Oh wow, y'all recorded your observations today. When they mixed powder A with the vinegar, it dissolved, it got cold, there was bubbles, the bag puffed up. When they did powder B and vinegar, the crystals dissolved, it got hot, caliente, right? Bubbles formed, and then the bag puffed up, like they did in a baggie, like a sandwich bag, right? All right, here's the one question. This will word out today. You don't say it loud, you're only going to say some things. Which observation from the list is evidence that powder A is different than powder B? You're going to whisper into Ms. Mapes' ear. When you're ready, you're going to whisper because you want everybody to know the answer. It's just a one with your...
I know.
What was the question?
You can't go get your backpack?
Michael, what was the question?
Come back to you.
What's the question?
Get your backpack on. You can lie down.
Sure, too.
Woo! Very good. Yes. Very good. Yes. Love it. Yes. Very good. All right. Yes. Yes, go bird. I'm so
Hi, this is Brian Sonnier again, and this is my post-observation video reflection. I'm going to start off with a description of the evidence of what I observed during the field observation. So I actually did the observation a couple of days ago, and I haven't been able to get back to filming this part of the observation until today. And I realized just a few minutes ago, well, hey, I've got the exact same shirt on as I did before, and I'm filming in the exact same place. But I did do the observation on a different day than today. It's just, as luck would have it, everything looks the same around here. So let me go into the observation. Yesterday, or actually day before yesterday, I observed Miss Mapes' 6th grade science classroom as they discussed physical and chemical changes in science. Miss Mapes used demos and a smartboard with a copy of her content frame activity that she filled out for students to follow along in class. The instructional strategies were a 5E model for science. She used content frames, guided questions, and demoing materials for students. And actually that was a science demonstration, so we actually used chemicals and labware and lab equipment to demo the information that we were presenting to the students in a science content. Differentiation was accomplished through the use of the demonstrations, the content frames used by students, the hands-on science activities, and the overall arrangement and setup of the classroom. Ms. Mapes also took the time to model for the students how to answer questions on the board and color-coded her models and answers for easier student learning of the information. Students were also given STEMs and STEMs to fill out as they were answering questions, so they would have a better grasp of the English language as they were learning their science. Sorry, my page just went too fast. I don't have a teleprompter. The information was on 2 different boards for the students to view, as well as being presented on a smartboard and demonstrated in front of them in the classroom. For the most part, the students were engaged in the lesson with some notable exceptions. There are several times that Ms. Mapes had to redirect students, ask students to follow along in the activity, or quiet sidebar conversations that students are having that were off topic. Several students also got up and wandered in the classroom, talking to friends, being off task. But for the most part, I would say that about 90% of the students were on task at any given time. It was a very fun activity for the students, and they really enjoyed what they were doing. Now, what went well in this activity was the use of the content frames and the demonstration in the classroom that introduced this material to the students. The students were really interested in what was going on in class, and we were really excited about the learning. Ms. Mapes also did a very good job in redirecting those off-task students through facial expressions, hand gestures, and visual cues to get the students back on task. If I were to change this classroom, I would have to say that I would mainly change the procedures and the discipline in the classroom. The students in the class had a lot of freedom during my observation, and this was a science classroom, which to me is a type of classroom where we'd like to limit freedom of students and implement greater safety measures in the classroom. If this was my classroom, students would not be allowed to leave their seats without permission. I would have students in full protective equipment, even when I was demonstrating the use of chemicals and concepts, and just in case there was an accident of some type. And I would not allow so much off-task behavior and noise in the classroom while we were discussing new concepts and presenting new information. Just because it is a science classroom and safety is our #1 concern in science, I would be a little bit more heavy-handed when it came to science safety. Now, I did learn a few surprising things during this activity that I wasn't aware of. Even though I've been in the classroom before, I didn't look at it through an administrator's eye. I've always looked at it through a teacher's eye and seen one thing, but as I looked at it through an administrator's eye this time, I'm learning a few different things. The surprising things I learned from this activity, that's just how Ms. Mapes used the ESL strategies to improve classroom instruction. Let me rephrase that. It's not how she used ESL strategies to improve instruction, it's how she could have used ESL strategies to improve instructions. And let me give you an example. First, I noticed that Ms. Mapes had a very fast rate of dictation as she was speaking to students. She talks really, really fast, and she uses a lot of accents in the classroom that confuse and cause some of the students to lose interest with what's going on in the class. This was a drawback to some of the ESL students. Additionally, I noticed that Ms. Mapes was somewhat sarcastic to the students and snarky with them throughout the lesson. I don't know if this is just a middle school teacher thing, but I found when I've observed other middle school teachers that middle school teachers as a group tend to be very sarcastic, and I think it's the way that they compensate and work with students. So I'm not really concerned about it, but it is something that surprised me that it was so prevalent in the classroom as I was observing. I was also surprised to see during this observation that Ms. Mapes tended to call upon the same students in the front of the classroom several times, but left out or ignored many of the students near the rear of the classroom who had raised their hand to answer questions and were really excited about answering questions, but were never called upon. This really hit home to me when one of the students as I was observing said, "You never call on us. We try to answer questions and you never call on us." And he said that out loud enough for me to hear in the back of the classroom, but Miss Mapes was talking and presenting. She didn't hear what he actually said, so that was a concern for me. I also noticed that students that were called on the most to answer the questions were the students that were native English speakers or high-level ESL speakers who didn't have a problem with language fluency in their BICS, which is basic interpersonal communication skills, but had more of a problem with their cognitive academic language skills. And those are the students that she called on more because I guess they were easier to understand than the students who, were, ESL students who'd been in the country 18 to 20 months and spoke with heavy accents or took a very long time to answer questions. I noticed that this class was presented extremely fast. The content was covered very, very quickly, and it was, for a lot of the students, the first time that they'd been exposed to this content, and since there was such a speed with the presentation of the content, the students were lost and they were trying to figure out how the information impacted them, what their real world connection to the information was. But since they didn't get a chance to answer any of the questions, the students that really needed to understand these concepts the most were kind of left behind, while the ones that actually understood a little bit more English were called on upon a lot. Now, I think this is going to change the way that I look at things as a school administrator, and primarily it's going to change the way that I look at teachers and I observe teachers and I view what teachers are doing in class, because it's always been in the past that I've looked at teachers and I've compared them to myself, and I've compared them to how I would present the information and what I would do, which is fine, but I think I need to start changing and start looking at how teachers present information more along the lines of how is this impacting students and how will students learn this information. If the teachers are presenting their information in a certain way, I want to make sure that all students are able to learn the information and all students have the time to ask questions and understand what is going on in class. With this observation, I didn't feel that all students had that opportunity, and since they didn't all have that opportunity, some students were really, really left out, and that being left out hurt their academic success. I think this has been a very transformative opportunity for me. I think I'm going to grow as I get a chance to do more of these observational videos. To me, these teacher observations are one of those things that I've been putting off. I didn't really think much about it, but now that I've actually gotten my first one completed, I see the value in them and I understand why I need to actually observe teachers and get practice and practice and practice observing teachers and observing what is actually going on in a classroom instead of what I would like to assume is going on in a classroom. Once again, my name is Brian Sonnier, and this is my Educational Practicum Leadership Assignment number 1, or should I say video number 1, from page 4 of the Practicum Guide. And thank you for taking the time to view this video. If you have any questions for me, my email address is briansonnier@mac.com or BSONNIER7 or I can be reached at briansonnier@kdisd.org. Thank you for viewing this video and have a nice evening.